Everyone has loved the show Stranger Things ever since we were first introduced to the gang in Hawkins in Season 1. But you'd be shocked to figure out that shooting a portion of the latest Season 4 clips of Stranger Things was extremely dangerous and hard. From being mounted to a wall for quite a long time, difficult battle successions to a near Frostbite experience, you certainly need guts to do what these actors did. Today, we are telling you the top 10 dangerous scenes from Stranger Things actors when they had to film for Stranger Things Season 4. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button for more entertaining videos and press the bell icon to get the latest video updates every time we drop something new. So let's start. Number 10, Steve's axe fight. Though Eddie's debilitated guitar scene got the accreditation for being the best scene of the season from the audience, there was one scene that was equally as hard to film and much more underrated: the enormous standoff at the Creel house. Joe Curry had a significant role where Vecna's Roots gets his axe and pull him against the wall. Yet on the off chance that you've seen every one of the different recordings where we separate Stranger Things as CGI, you'd be aware Vecna's plants aren't really there. How the situation is playing out is Joe Curry imagining like his arm is being pulled back by sweeping the hatchet in reverse. This is where the peril occurred. He swung the hatchet truly hard, and it just slid out of your hand and it went straight forwardly into the camera. We have close to zero familiarity with shooting and movie level production, yet we'd very much want to perceive how that shot ended up. Number 9, Demogorgon in Russia. Otherwise called the Demogorgon battle, presently we would expect a Russian jail battle to be the most secure thing to shoot. Yet, to the extent that perilous scenes go, this is certainly up there. The Duffer siblings really forfeited a touch of imaginative vision to protect their group. They initially imagined the secession done in a single shot, but since of how perilous the tricks were, they ruled against it. They wound up doing a couple of shots and simply sewing them generally together. It was truly a coordination of a variety of divisions just to arrive. Number 8, Max's escape. More like going through that sludge, Sadie Sink and her stunt double went during a time-long ringer having this scene done. She was remaining in a generally rough, horrendous sort of environment all day long. That became even more difficult as Sadie needed to sway and wind around like there were genuine items tumbling from the sky. In her own words, she recalls how dangerous the ground was and the way in which she needed to be extra cautious to stroll on it. Sadie's stunt double likewise needed to take a couple of gnarly falls into the horrendous water towards its finish. But whatever happened, the final scene feels genuine. The stakes are extremely high. It was though disgusting and horrifying, but the most straightforward set. Number 7, Natalie Struggles. Like similar to the TV, Natalie is really in one of the most severe situations while fighting Vecna as she was pinned to the wall at an angle. We referenced before that Vecna's plants weren't there while recording. So in those minutes where Steve, Robin, and Nancy are stuck to the wall in the Brook house, they were simply mounted there with cuts into a tackle. It was truly difficult to get those folks up there, so they would simply leave them up there. But Nancy being at an angle made it even much harder for her to keep her strength and stay in the position for hours on end for days. She has even shared some moments regarding this. Number 6, the tank with the water. We're discussing heaps of salt. Millie Bobby Brown goes full technique in this Stranger Things arrangement. First off, she was inside the tank for a couple of days for no less than 10 to 12 hours every day, and she couldn't hear a thing since her ears were submerged the whole time. In a meeting with Variety, Millie discusses her battle with claustrophobia during shooting. I experienced the ill effects of claustrophobia, so when we shut the tank, I most certainly felt like, gracious, my golly, I am 11. I'm truly going through this. I feel like it was only an insane episode. Number 5, Lucas was exhausted. We're talking personal and physical. He says I should follow through with something, but I was simply such as uttering a sound. Like toward the finish of shooting the finale, especially the loft scene, Caleb McLaughlin had experienced a great deal. He has a significant battle scene with Mason, Jason, which carved out opportunity to get down. In his own words, I don't have the foggiest idea, yet I realized I needed to make it happen. I arranged for it intellectually. It was a drawn-out day. Towards its finish, while he's shouting for Max, His close-to-home power is through the rooftop. He even conceded a couple of lines as a result of it. He was accomplishing such a great deal active work and shouting so much that he almost lost his voice. However, it was insane. However, it was truly amazing film, he says. Number 4, Frostbite in Russia. No measure of warm socks could assist David with holding on to this. We're certain all of you saw his personality, the unbelievable Hopper, making his fantastic break from the USSR, absolutely shoeless. No doubt, that was all genuine. It's really not charming for your exposed feet to be on snow for significant stretches. Obviously, he very much wanted his time shooting in Atlanta over the freezing disorder. That was Hopper's excursion through Lithuania. Number 3, Stunt Doubles coming to the rescue. We're most certainly detecting a topic here. Sadie and her trick double invested a decent amount of energy tied into tackles and being pulled around. There was like a rope attached to my lower leg and afterward hauled me across the floor. That, however, the stunt double was really pulled by 3 people across the floor as they maneuvered her up and mounted her onto a support point while we hauled the trick, Max on her tummy and facing the point of support. Apart from that, there's most certainly a major watery component of risk here. Joe Curry needed to break out all of his swim preparing to jump 16 feet down into the colossal 40-foot tank. He said, okay, in an interview, how large do you suppose it was, folks? Like 40 feet? It resembled enormous circle 40 by most likely a couple of gallons, I think. In anticipation of the job, Joe took lots of swim illustrations so he could be mistaken for Steve Harrington, commander of the swimming club and hotshot lifeguard. But the stunt double for him still comes to the rescue for the more tedious scenes. He said, I gotta sort of exhibit this different side of the person. Number 2, creating Vecna. Not exactly hazardous, more like straight up frightening. We as a whole realize Vecna is staggeringly terrifying and totally finished up with reasonable impacts. So normally he establishes an incredible connection. He snapped his neck and checked out the rest of the cast, and it was terrifying. Millie recalls, I'm there and I'm like completely in. Vecna was like gazing at individuals, snorting, snarling. Millie had no clue Vecna planned to seem to be like that. She thought he would have been all CGI and she was absolutely panicked. She was unable and tried to proceed with the scene. The frightfulness brother, she was crying. Genuinely, however, who couldn't go ballistic seeing Vecna walk about your work environment, particularly when it's Jamie Campbell Bower under every last bit of it. He didn't even break character. Conversing with the inside of his brain was like, no, Jamie's dead, it's simply Vecna now. Number 1, the Migraine Story. We need to incorporate this one scene of season 3 for the sheer guts it took to perform. Natalia Dyer was really intense for this season 3 grouping. She certainly needed to get through a couple of headaches, and at any rate, many days of the glimmering light is a quick way of forgetting that headache. Indeed, even still, with her beating head, she immediately elected to do her own trick by being tossed into the wall. She says, I attempted to inspire them to allow me to make it happen, yet they said, not a chance. She was most likely good passing it on the trick to the experts. She was perfect. She did a truly great job, over and over tossed into the wall. These Stranger Things characters could go from beginning disasters to real difficult, debilitating arrangements. It appears to be standard day at the workplace for them. They overcame all the hard stuff. Presently, all they really want to do is the warrior. Simply has to run in counterfeit passing, and that is all there is to it. That's it for today. Which was your favorite scene from Stranger Things Season 4? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos in the future.